Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have an open box video for you. But before we get into all that, please remember like, share, subscribe. That's the YouTube way. This is the way. And also remember, we're going to do the straight caveat on this bad boy. Don't try this at home, folks. If you like graded coins, buy coins that are already graded. This little group of stuff is mostly stuff that it looks like the engineer cherry-picked and put together. We sent off to PCGS on an economy service and had some additional attributes to try to assign to these things, which we did successfully on, at least the first couple. And this particular coin here you may be wondering what we're looking at, because you think, Ben, that looks like a penny, and you would be right. Congratulations, unless you think it's a cent, and then I was wrong. So this is a double die obverse. That's what DDO stands for, double die obverse, FS101. That is the reference number in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And so this guy is a little bit harder for me to capture the detail on here, but that is we should see some doubling here in the In God We Trust. I just had it there for a second. Especially I'm looking at the I and N and in. Those have nice straight lines, so it makes it easier to see some of the doubling on that. It is a harder one to see. And then if I'm looking at the W in we right now, and I'm seeing a nice clear line there, and so that's going to be the double die obverse on that. So these actually have a really low population. Like this in MS63 has a population of only 11 with 46 finer. The notes here say that that is approximately a $120 type coin. In the meantime, we had a second one here, and this one came back spot removed. Unk detail spot removed. And so I think what we're looking at is this spot here on the left-hand side under the word Liberty. And it looks like that guy did have the spot removed. And this one's too bad because I think this coin has a nicer look to it in general. And that one we may just end up putting up there as an auction to see how it goes. I had mentioned that we got some of our attributions done correct or well. Not Orwellian, that would just be my life. This is the type of thing that happens, though, when you send a coin in. And I get confused, we get confused, somebody got confused, because this actually is listed as one of their items as a double die obverse. And here they did not list it as a double die obverse. So when you have something that's a known variety that is just commonplace in the marketplace, you don't have to really click variety attribution. So for example, a 1955 double die, you don't have to click variety attribution on, and this coin, similar to that, actually has a listing number for them, 411639, and just says double die obverse. But apparently we needed to click the attribution button, which whether we did or not is apparently debatable. So take it on the chin. That's where the doubling is. And I mean, I think a lot of us have that problem. You young guys out there, you don't know yet, but you'll find out. All right, also what's cool about this coin that came back a special, so it's from an SMS set, graded 66. It also has a strike through, a couple strike throughs. So you see, right, I'm going to get that kind of like right dead center in the chin, pardon me, on the cheek. That is struck through a wire right there on that cheek. And then if we go farther down here, see if I can grab this guy. Oh, he's small. I got a dead center. It looks like a piece of lint that's actually in the metal. It's actually the shape of the Shelby Cobra. It looks like a tiny Shelby Cobra on that guy. All right, so we will not cry over that one. That is approximately a $50 coin for the variety and the grade. All right, so as I said before about not trying this at home, I've also mentioned in the past, hey, if you train your eye to this stuff, it is an area where you can actually, if you get good at it, be halfway decent at cherry picking things, because most dealers really don't look at this stuff that close and take the time to find either varieties or high grades. So as an example, this 1974 San Francisco Mint Silver Ike, these guys here, there's like 10,000 graded in 67, but in 68 there's only 2,085. And I think there's only like 28 in 69. which, by the way, this coin will probably be sending off to CAC to get stickered because, you know, that market is insane. You know, this coin that in this grade is probably $100 coin with a CAC sticker like quintuples in price. When I say that there's an area here that's available for a little bit of cherry picking, there's a lot of like esoteric, unusual items. So in 1996, the first West Point coin struck these were not struck for circulation. These were struck only in the mint sets. But that 96W, the first W mint marked coin that was a standardized coin, was struck. And this is another area where the coins, if you look at a bunch of them, a lot of them are very ho-hum. And so you look at a coin like this, it's like that is really actually kind of attractive. And for modern Roosevelt time, that may be saying something. So this is a coin that in MS68 full bands, you're talking about a price point of about 85 bucks, but there's a population of 771 with none finer. So if you can get the 69, then you've got the nicest thing you can get, or you would have the nicest known. And this is the type of coin I would send into CAC also. And then they would just return it to me and say, hey, Ben, we don't do those. Stop sending us coins that we don't actually do. And, you know, because that's a thing. That's a thing for me. I've got a list printed here, and I have to look at it. Next up, we have a 1970S, the Proof, small date version. And we had a few of these to send in and see kind of how they'd come back. We looked for ones that were kind of nice. This actually, what I like about this coin is it actually has somewhat of a cameo look to it, which a lot of the 1970 cents do not have. And so that little bit of cameo there. We did not get a cameo on the label, but a 67 red is a pretty good grade overall for the coin, something that, you know, you're turning a coin that, generally speaking, if you find it from a proof set that you bought for $5 or whatever, 10 bucks, whatever the going rate is on a 70S proof set, you know, you take a coin and it turns into like an $85 type coin. So once again, they're out there. The truth is out there. Here's a second one. So 67 red was the last one. Let's look a little bit closer just at that small date variety. I always like to think of it as the weak Y variety. If you look at how thin, and actually on this you can see how thin the lettering gets on Liberty. The L is strong and then the rest of it gets really weak. That's usually the small date. The other thing that I look at is the height of the 7 relative to the 0, the 7 and 0 location on a larger date. You know, you're going to see that 0 coming up higher on the coin. This coin, did I show you the grade on that? It was another 67 red. I'm getting distracted by looking at shiny things. Squirrel. And of course they had those both in the uncirculated and the mint condition, the proof condition. So you see once again, there's the weak Liberty, the weak Y especially, but you can see the E is almost truncated on the top, like artificially on that coin. And another small date. Also, what's interesting to me is there's a lot of something going on that S right there. And or it's the camera angle. But this guy came back a 65 red, in which case also a coin that's going to be probably in that $80 range. These are really hard to get nice coins out of, I find. Like they're pretty strict on those particular coins, and not that easy to get high grades on those. The last little group of stuff, we had some fun things that I just thought were visually compelling. I don't know how many of these I picked out and how many the engineer did, but there's a few I'm pretty sure that I had set aside because I just was like, wow, this coin needs to be in a holder. I don't care exactly what the grade is, but the coin is pretty. And especially when you're talking about copper nickel coins, clad coins from the from 65 and newer, it's just a thing. Like they need to be preserved and conserved for future generations. And so this 1965 dime is from a special mint set and just has a special look to it. We're like, what the heck? We're going to send that guy in. You get some iridescent color coming through here. And for those of you who don't know, PCGS TrueView, they've changed I believe that they're changed leadership over there, and so their true views are looking a little bit different than they used to. Not sure how these look, but some beautiful close-ups of that coin that came back at 68. But once again, it's just a pretty coin. That one will probably do. All of these last coins will probably just put on eBay at auction levels to start them at 50 bucks and see if there's any takers. Here's a 1966, another coin that is really, really lovely with some toning to it from the special mint sets that you see, and just kind of fun. Just kind of fun. And this one didn't come back a 8. This one came back a 7. Yeah, that first coin, the 1965 one is really cool. Came back the highest grade, also had, I thought, the best eye appeal overall. So we had a 65, 6, and here's a 67. Also, just kind of with a nice look to it. Also, we are kind of hoping for high grades on these. They had a great look to them. And some of these guys, their population is probably relatively slim in those highest grades. I'm going to see if we can do like a check here with the little card that's in there. The tag. If you click on, there's like a tag that your phone can read. I'm going to move on to this while that gets pulled up to the next coin here. 1975 San Francisco. So if you click on the little coin tab on the NFC tab that's inside here and click on it, it'll tell you the PCGS number, the date, the mint mark, the grade, and then the population. So this is a population of 1283 with 288 higher graded. So you can see that that in 8 there's a real scarcity on those guys. This one, Proof 68 Deep Red Cameo, not Deep Cameo, 75S. And once again, I think we pulled this one out just for the color of money. So it had just kind of a fun tone to it. I am intrigued that they called it red, by the way. I would almost think that this coin they would call red brown because of the toning, and that just seems to be a thing that happens once in a while. And last but not least, I know I sent this guy off for a couple reasons. So it's had a little bit of a cameo, but what I really liked was this iridescence that is like glowing on the coin here, just a little bit in front of Kennedy and a little bit behind Kennedy. That glow just kind of caught my eye. I was like, that is just a fun look for a coin. If someone's collecting for the artistry, you know, that iridescence is really cool. So neat coin. It did come back with a cameo, which is kind of what we're hoping for. You get those 1960s coins, and the proof coins cameos are not as available. So a 68 deep cam is a pretty good grade. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to get up into those 69 grades better. What I was talking about before is if you click on, if your phone has a sensor on it and you can click on that, you know, when I held my phone next to this, it just popped up. You can see this takes like a really short amount of time, unless your Wi-Fi sucks like mine does. And then you can see that it is linked to the actual coin. So you can see that they have what the pop is in 8 and how many are higher graded. So it's kind of a fun thing. The image is not ready on this coin, or maybe the image is not existent on that coin, but either way, you get to see it up front and personal because I've got it here for you to see and enjoy the show. And guys, thanks so much for being here. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.